Put the blame where the blame is. Don't attack the people who are being beat down and used as a weapon against you. Hey there, Coach Devin here. All right, I have seen a ton of posts about people saying, let's boycott these bars, restaurants, gyms, businesses in general, because they're asking for proof of vaccination. In Nova Scotia, we have to ask for proof of vaccination. Some businesses do, not all of them. It amazes me how the hole in the logical thinking with this. If you're angry at a business that's asking for proof of vaccination that isn't being forced to ask for a proof of vaccination, and there's only a few, bars, restaurants, gyms, sporting events, there's 4. If you're angry at another business, okay, that business owner has made a decision to ask for proof of vaccination. You can be mad at them if you feel like it, or not mad at them, it's up to you, right? I get it, they have made a business decision or a moral decision or whatever that decision is that they've made, and they've said, okay, I'm asking for proof of vaccination and everybody's gonna do it. It's a little different for bars, restaurants, and gyms. And here's why it's different. It's different for us because we don't have a choice. We're being mandated to do it. Every other business, there's no fine if they don't ask. Some ask, some don't, nobody cares, it doesn't matter. But bars, restaurants, gyms, sporting events, we have to ask for it, because if we don't, we get fines. And the fines are like $7,500 per infraction. So here's where I don't understand it. So people are like, I'm not going to that gym. I'm not going to that bar, restaurant, whatever. Okay. First problem, the government picked the wrong people, government, because we've been closed. Like the gyms, we've been closed 3 times. Bars and restaurants, same deal, right? So we've been closed already. Nobody's going to miss the fact that they can't go because we've been closed. Second biggest problem here with the people who are saying, let's boycott. And I've seen all these things online where people are listing businesses. I got listed myself. They're like, don't go to 360 Fit. That guy asked for proof of vaccination. I'm like, I don't have a choice. What am I supposed to do? Just not ask and then take a big fine? And then what? Fight it in court, and then people say, well, just fight it. Okay, so the legal fees. If I win, I have a ton of legal fees. If I lose, I have a big fine and legal fees. I have staff that depend on me for a living, and their families depend on me for a living. What you're doing, all those people out there that are saying, let's boycott this business, this business, this business, who are bars, restaurants, and gyms, who are being forced, the people being forced, you're hurting the small business, and the government doesn't give a damn. I can tell you right now, the government doesn't care what Devin Sherrington at 360 Fit thinks. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them. So if I take a fine, the government doesn't care. If I go out of business, they don't care. No one cares. But you're saying, hey, let's get that small business who's being forced. Really, if you boil it down, the small business is being held like a hostage by the government saying, you better do it or we're gonna get these guys. And the response is, let's get the hostage. What? Come on, guys. Like, give your freaking head a shake. For 2 seconds, think what you're saying. It makes no sense. If somebody's taken hostage, you don't then abuse them because they were taken hostage. You don't get angry at them because they were taken hostage. You go, oh, you're mad at the hostage. If you want to change things, go to the government. They're the people that can change it. Bars, restaurants, gyms, we're not changing anything because we can't change it. Again, the government doesn't care if a restaurant goes out of business, if a bar goes out of business, or a gym goes out of business, or 20 of them go out of business. It makes no difference. They don't care that people lose their jobs. They don't care that we can't feed our children. None of it matters. So when you're saying, let's attack bars, gyms, and restaurants, you're attacking the hostages. You're attacking the hostages. You're coming after the people who are being forced and mandated to do something, most of the time against their will. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of asking for proof of vaccination. I kind of find it's a bit of a weird situation. I don't feel like I, as a business owner, got into business so that I can force things the government's putting in place. I don't know if that's right. I feel very uncomfortable with it. But I also don't have any options because I can't take $7,500 fines every day, because then I'd be out of business. And the people who depend on me, my children, my wife, and all of my staff and their families, and they depend on us for money. What, so now I'm gonna get nothing? I'm just gonna go out of business and you guys will all be like, great? I'll be honest with you, listen, if you want to say bars, restaurants, gyms, You guys refuse to do it, fight it. Okay, fine, pay my legal fees. I've been closed 3 times. 3 different times I've been closed. Bars and restaurants, same deal. We're not in a position financially to fight the good fight. If you feel like fighting the good fight, I think it's great. I'm not necessarily against anything you're saying. But I definitely can't lose my business because of your moral standpoint and blackmailing me, putting me on a list and saying, this is a bad guy, don't go to see this guy. I'm not making that decision. I don't have a choice. It's either do what the government says as a hostage or get screwed and end up out of business. If you're someone who's willing to quit their job over this, great. But are you willing to quit your job and have everybody else on your street lose their job too because of your decision? It's a pretty easy one, guys. It's not as simple as you're trying to make it. Attacking bars, restaurants, gyms, attacking the businesses that are held as hostages is not the answer. It's not helpful, it's not constructive, it's just lashing out wildly because you don't have anybody else to lash out. Write people in government. Go protest in government. Go there every day if you want to do it. Protest. I'm not going to necessarily be against you on that. I think you have the right to make a decision for your own body. That's my own feelings on that. I have vaccinations, but you know what? My family does, but that doesn't mean that I think that anybody should be forced to do anything. Bottom line there, though, put the blame where the blame is. Don't attack the people who are being beat down and used as a weapon against you. It's not helpful, doesn't do any good, and yelling and hollering at small business owners, it's just ridiculous. It's downright ridiculous. Hope everybody has a good day, and stop attacking small businesses. We didn't do anything wrong. Don't fight the Aussie.